Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC ladder in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and provide live commentary as I go. In today's video, I'm going to be featuring a tournament-winning team with Maushold. Maushold is one of the brand new Pokemon in Generation 9, and this set in particular is really interesting because it utilizes a good amount of offense between Wide Lens, Technician, and Population Bomb, and also has some really nice supportive moves in Follow Me, Charm, and Encore. This team was built and piloted by Markus Stadter, who finished third in the world in 2016 and has won multiple regional and national championships, and I'm really excited to feature it because Maushold is amazing on the team, and it also is just an incredibly consistent and strong team. So, as always, I'll do a quick breakdown of the team before the battles, but if you want to just skip to the games, check out the timestamps in the description below. Thank you so much as always for watching. If you enjoy, please show your support by leaving a like in the video. It really helps me and the channel out a lot. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Aaron and I do competitive VGC and doubles content all the time, especially battles. And so if that's something you're interested in, would mean a lot if you consider subscribing. But thanks so much as always for watching, and let's get started. So, like I mentioned, this team was built and piloted by Markus Stadter, who is one of the greatest VGC players of all time. He's won multiple regional and national titles and got third in the world in 2016. Now, he brought this to a tournament that was relatively small in Europe in terms of size, but it had a lot of well-known players, and it was incredibly stacked and deep in terms of the player pool. And so, Markus ended up going 4-1 in the opening rounds, and then won the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals in order to go 7-1 in sets and win the entire tournament. The tournament was best of 3, and it was open team sheet, meaning that your opponent could actually see your moves, your abilities, your items, and your Terra typing. And so open team sheet sometimes exists to prevent scouting, and it's something that I think is being tested right now in live tournaments, which is interesting, especially because scouting for Terra has some huge implications, right? And so what that tells me is even though the tournament was small, the fact that Markus went 7-1 in best of 3 sets means that the team is really consistent, and it's one where even with your opponent knowing your sets, it's still hard to fight against. And so let's break down the team. And question of the day, I want to know what Gen 9 Pokemon you think has the best design. For me, I love Maushold and Cyclizar, so those are the two that jump to my mind immediately. So, yeah. First Pokemon to talk about is, of course, the Maushold. Now, this thing's really interesting because you can use it in multiple different ways. It gets 2 incredible abilities in Technician and Friend Guard, and so a lot of players are using Friend Guard right now. You pair Maushold with something that wants to set up, a Belly Drum user, a Swords Dance user, a Dragon Dance user, and then just use Maushold to enable those sweepers. And so those sets will often use Friend Guard, and instead of Population Bomb, you'll see something like Super Fang, for example, maybe a Protect as one of the moves as well. But I like this Maushold set a lot because it's a pseudo sweeper with Population Bomb, but it also has really good support with Charm, Follow Me, and Encore. And so the idea here is that with Technician, your moves of 60 base power or less deal 1.5 damage. Population Bomb here only has base 20 power, so that seems fairly underwhelming, but this is Maushold's signature attack, and it can hit up to 10 times. Now, each hit has its own accuracy check, right? So, for example, you go for hit number 1, that's a 90% chance to hit. Hit number 2, that's a 90% chance to hit. And so they're all independent of each other. So one thing that's really cool is that Wide Lens can turn that accuracy from 90% to 99%. And suddenly, your odds of missing each individual hit are just so much slimmer. So the expected value increase that you get from using Wide Lens is absolutely crazy. I think if you use, without using Wide Lens, the percentage chance of you hitting all 10 Population Bombs, I think is somewhere in the mid 30%. But if you do have the Wide Lens, that skyrockets to over 90%. So the increase in expected value is just bonkers when you use this as your item choice. And so Maushold can actually deal really significant damage between Technician, Wide Lens, and normal Terra typing as well. And so suddenly this thing can really just pick up big one-hit knockouts when your opponents aren't expecting it. Now, naturally, Maushold doesn't want to go up against fighting type Pokemon or ghost type Pokemon, and a lot of the rest of the team is really designed to cover for those sets. And so, yeah, this thing can honestly just deal a lot of damage immediately. And the two main enablers of this team are Murkrow and Hydreigon. So Murkrow really is a legit Pokemon. This is probably the best generation it will be for Murkrow, especially relative to previous gens. And the main reason is because, once again, it gets access to Prankster Tailwind, and when it evolves into Honchkrow, it actually loses Prankster. So this is one of the only 2 ways you can set up Tailwind with priority in the game right now, the other being Talonflame with Gale Wings. And so the idea is you just set up Tailwind and then sweep. Haze is really nice for 2 reasons. One, in dropping your opponent's, boosts, especially valuable into Dondozo Tatsugiri, but also really good when paired with Golden Goal. The idea is that Murkrow can haze away Golden Goal's special attack drops from Make It Rain. Make It Rain lowers your special attack by 1 every time you use it, but Murkrow can essentially just get rid of those immediately, which is really awesome. So there's some natural synergy between Murkrow and Golden Goal. Otherwise, this is fairly standard. You have Ghost Terra type here to essentially have a way to bypass Fake Outs on turn 1, or just at any point in the game, which is really valuable as well. The other Tailwind user here is Hydreigon, and so this is a pretty standard Hydreigon set. You'll have Flash Cannon with Steel Terra, which is really nice into Fairy-type Pokemon, especially something like Sylveon, which generally expects to be able to, you know, KO you. So that's a sweet combination. You'll often see Protect in this last slot, but I think Tailwind makes a lot of sense because you then can enable combinations like Maushold and Hydreigon, where you go for Follow Me into Tailwind, or Annihilate Hydreigon, nuke something with the Annihilate, and then set up Tailwind, and then sweep with like Golden Go, Garchomp, Maushold in the back, for example. So it just gives you another means of speed control, meaning like you don't have to rely solely on Murkrow, and I think Steel Terra plus Flash Cannon is an incredible combination on this Pokemon. Super good defensively as well as offensively. To round out the team, you've got Choice Scarf Annihilate. This is mainly designed to just Final Gambit into things. You do have Brick Break to break through screens, especially from something like Grimmsnarl, and then Shadow Claw, mainly because you don't expect to take too many hits with Annihilate anyway, so Rage Fist generally isn't going to give you that much value, and the idea often is to just trade 1-for-1 while also enabling good speed control. Final two Pokemon here are the Golden Go. Golden Go is just really strong. I think it's one of the best Pokemon that Generation 9 introduced, especially in a non-Paradox/Legendary format. And its ability is crazy, right? It makes it immune to status moves, so that in itself is amazing. But you also just deal huge amounts of damage with Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, and you have Steel Beam and Psyshock for coverage here as well. So the idea here is that after Tailwind, the Golden Go essentially outspeeds everything and can really just blow things up. And like I mentioned, synergizes nicely with Murkrow and Haze. Garchomp's the last Pokemon here, and this is just a Swords Dance set. Important to note, though, that it is really bulky with, like, max HP. It doesn't have that much speed investment. And the theory here is because you have Tailwind, you don't really need to be outspeeding, like, other Pokemon naturally, because you'll often be able to get Tailwind up with this team. So, just generally good coverage. You've got Fire Terra type here, mainly as a defensive option to avoid those annoying Ice-type attacks, for example. So, there are honestly so many ways you can play with this team, but, like, I really like Murkrow plus really anyone to set up Tailwind and start sweeping. I think, like, Murkrow, Garchomp inherently a synergy because of Earthquake, Hydreigon, Garchomp, but I do like Murkrow plus, like, really anything, and then, like, Hydreigon plus Maushold is good. Hydreigon really plus anything is also fairly solid. So, this team has a ton of flexibility and kind of the offensive capabilities of it. But I've been talking long enough. Let's get into the battles. Okay, we've got Kilowattrel, Indie, Golden Go, Arcanine, and Gallade. So Golden Go obviously is going to be annoying for Maushold, but Maushold's pretty good into everything else. I'm not opposed to a Murkrow Maushold lead. Just Tailwind into Population Bomb. I feel like Garchomp's pretty good here. Our Golden Go's okay as well, but they do have multiple steel resistances. Like Garchomp Hydreigon here feels solid generally. Especially thanks to Clear Amulet, so yeah, I like that. Not as confident with the Annihilate here because they have like Indeedee and Amoonguss, and often like going for Final Gambit onto those Pokemon isn't worth it. And then with those Pokemon, they can also redirect a Final Gambit away from something that's, you know, like you would initially want to target with it. So yeah, gonna drop an Annihilate on this one. I think Golden Go's pretty solid here. It's tempting to bring it. We're gonna go with Indeedee and Kilowattrel though. Okay. I suppose the problem here is they can just follow me and then Tailwind. Kilowattrel was actually rather annoying for this team to go up against, I would say, but we've got Hydreigon and Garchomp in the back, so it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna just Population Bomb here into that slot in case for some reason they don't follow me, and then just Tailwind here. Oh, actually, I guess this is interesting. We don't need to because I have Eviolite, like, I expect to survive an Electric-type attack. So the idea is I don't necessarily have to Tailwind here on turn 1 because I expect Follow Me and Tailwind on their end, and that would allow me to stagger my Tailwind by a turn. Like, I could get a free foul play off here. But I don't think getting a free foul play off really matters, to be honest, so I'll just go for Tailwind here. I don't know. Like, I guess they could, yeah, they could be going for this. Okay, well, now, let's see if we can just KO the Kilowattrel. Oh, if Maushold just gets the KO here on turn 1, I feel like it's honestly just over. Let's see. Oh, it definitely is getting the KO if we don't miss. Well, that was a pleasant surprise, yeah. Like, I was trying to get fancy and potentially staggering my Tailwind by a turn there, but basically, the argument was like, even if I stagger, like, what would Murkrow click there? Probably just foul play. But, like, if Indeedee goes for Follow Me anyway, then what does it really matter? So, very glad I didn't end up trying to get fancy there, and the safe Tailwind ends up paying off heavily. Yeah, I mean, Maushold just kind of goes in this matchup. That was so satisfying, though. Okay. Golden Gold comes out now. Yeah, with Golden Gold, they'll probably make it rain. I don't really feel the need to switch out right now. I suppose they could protect with this. I'm down to just population bomb into it and foul play into Golden Gold. Okay, they just go for follow me. Yep, that's fine. Helping Hand would have actually been better for them here, I think. Population bomb crits. Nice. Another crit! 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh. 3 crits and 8 hits too. Just wild. This Maushold is crazy. Okay, so that faints. They didn't Terra, so we get a super effective foul play. Could be weakness policy Golden Go. I think that item's really interesting on this Pokemon. But they're gonna nasty plow. Oh, I feel so bad. Like, I can just encore them or I can haze them. Both work here. I'm down to haze and then, like, potentially go for Glade's their last one. Yeah, I'm down to Terra here, honestly. Population bomb into Glade and then just haze. That's probably not the most consistent way to win this game, given that we've got Garchomp and Hydreigon in the back. It's probably actually more consistent just Encore Golden Goal and then like Brave Bird into the Gallade slot. But I just really wanted to Terra the Maushold here. Plus with Garchomp and Hydreigon in the back, I'm feeling pretty good about our position. So can Maushold pick up another KO here? It's already knocked out 2 Pokemon. Oh my god, I love it. It looks so cute. Yes! Alright, we're gonna see a Terra from their enemy. As long as it's not like Ghost or Steel on Gallade, it's okay. It's Golden Goal. Cool, that makes sense. Fairy! Oh, that's interesting. Well, Fairy gives you, you know, resistances. Sorry, Golden Goal. I apologize. Alright, here's Maushold's Population Bomb, now boosted by normal Terra as well. The first one literally does like 25%. Oh my gosh. This Pokemon is crazy! What is going on? They're just gonna Dazzling Gleam. Yeah. Well, Maushold should survive this. And now we'll see if they let us get another Population Bomb off, but Maushold can literally pick up all 4 knockouts in this game. If they don't forfeit. Going to Hydreigon. Yeah, I think ultimately my opponent just gambled really hard on turn 1. Follow Me Tailwind would have been safer for them, because then the Kilowattra at least outspeeds me, and then Maushold doesn't get to put on this kind of performance. I could have clicked Flash Cannon there, but... Oh, they're gonna let Maushold get another, please! Come on, yes! 1, 2. Maushold! Yes! This Pokemon picked up every KO. Oh my gosh. I'm actually... That's it. That's it. That's the episode. I don't even need to record anymore. I'm already happy. I was like, hey, if I just get one good game in with the Maushold, that'd already make me happy. It doesn't get any better than that, though. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but you can see Maushold's strength, right? Like, having access to Wide Lens Technician Population Bomb is kind of wild. And, like, what this team does really a good job of is covering for the Pokemon, you know, that Maushold can't do very much damage to. Like, you think about Population Bomb, what do you want to not go up against? Well, Ghost-type Pokemon or Steel-type Pokemon. But then you look at the rest of the team. You've got Garchomp, which has a super effective Earthquake for Steel-type Pokemon. You have Golden Go, which has a super effective Choice Spec Shadow Ball into Ghost-type Pokemon. You have Annihilate, which has a super effective Shadow Claw into Ghost-type Pokemon. You have Hydreigon, which is a super effective Dark-type attack into Ghost Pokemon. And you have Murkrow, which has Foul Play, which is super effective into Ghost Pokemon as well. So that's just smart team construction, right? It's like Maushold very much actually can be the carry of this team because everything else covers for the Ghost and Steel weaknesses, which is pretty awesome. But I just can't believe we actually got all 4 KOs in our first game here. I'm so pleased. Alright, what do we have for this one? Ooh, very cool. Palafin Colossal Dragapult. I think this might be a team on Victory Road. There's a great list of Series 1 rental teams already on Victory Road, which I'll link down in the description below if you want to just start battling. I was going to feature most of the teams from there. So I remember they had a Colossal team, and yeah, this is one of the featured teams there, which is really cool. So the idea here is that you've got Palafin with the Eject button, which is pretty interesting, and then you can Aqua Jet into the Absorbable Dragon Colossal, which is definitely a lot to say. So you can turn into Dragon, and then eat up the Absorb as well, which is really interesting. Okay, so Haze Murkrow is super good here, right? But I maybe don't want to lead it. Like, I want to bring it in the back. Also, I could wait. Why not just go like Maushold here, honestly, and like threaten it with Follow Me, right? Like Maushold plus Annihilate here is pretty interesting. Into Murkrow plus something. Maybe I don't need Murkrow, honestly. Like, what if I went Maushold, Hydreigon, Garchomp, and Golden Go? I don't know if that's the best, but I'll try it out. Basically, the logic here... Oh, also, Palafin doesn't have Aqua Jet, I think. It's Flip Turn, Jet Punch, Liquidation, Protect. So you can self-Jet Punch. Sorry, not Aqua Jet. But yeah, I think it only has +1 priority, right? So Follow Me should redirect it. Okay. Go with Colossal Palafin, yep. So the logic here is I can just Follow Me turn 1 into Tailwind. And once we get Tailwind up, like, as long as Colossal doesn't get Steam Engine or the Absorb Bulb, we should be okay. It's cool to see Colossal in a non-Dynamax format, though. Like, this thing was obviously an absolute monster in the Dynamax meta, but they're gonna go for a Terra here, okay? So what's it, Dragon Terra on Cole? Yeah. Like, I honestly don't mind that, because now Hydreigon is super good into you, right? So yeah, there's Follow Me. Oh my god, I love this Pokemon so much. Yeah, there's Jet Punch. And we get Tailwind up, cool. Probably Terra Blasting. Yeah. Okay. Nice, we survive. If I were them, I would Jet Punch Maushold and then protect Colossal, personally. You could also go for side Jet Punch still in Terra. Actually, that's what I would do in there. Would I do that? Because now you risk Draco Meteor. I think the safe bet is just to Follow Me here and then Draco into Palafin. Just get this out of the way. Because then Colossal is just not really that scary. But if Palafin protects here, that's a problem. But they don't protect. Perfect. So as long as we don't miss Draco Meteor here, I think Palafin should faint. So this is so cool to have in contrast to the last game, because in the last game we used Maushold as pure offense, and in this game we're using it as pure defense with Follow Me. Okay. Nice, Draco Meteor doesn't miss. Excellent. And now it's like my opponent's committed a Terra to Colossal, and it's Dragon type against the team with multiple Dragon type Pokemon, so... Maushold did exactly what I needed it to do in this game. I can actually just Golden to Golden Go immediately. I think Garchomp is fine here, though. Like, we could just Draco Meteor Earthquake now. I guess Grimmsnarl coming out from their end and threatening with Fake Out could be annoying. They bring out Dragapult. Okay. Well, that thing can certainly surf, but we outspeed right now, so I'm kind of down to just Earthquake here. Yeah, and just Draco into Colossal. I guess the slight risk here is not knowing the Dragapult set slash Colossal potentially being able to go for a double protect, but they're not going to go for it. Okay. Nice. Draco does so much damage there. Doesn't get the KO, but that's more than enough. I don't know. Even if they were like choice band Dragon Darts here, I don't think you'd knock out both Pokemon immediately. And then now Golden Go is just really set up for success. Okay, managed to get a crit on Dragapult, which actually brings it down to Sash. I really hope they fix the HP bar lag. Like, I like seeing the bar actually move instead of just like not knowing what HP it's going to go down to and then seeing it like immediately blink to that. And they went for Syrup to try to enable Colossal. Yeah. Yeah, I think Colossal is just not as easy to enable here as it was in previous generations. Or not previous generations, just the previous generation, I should say. And Amoonguss comes out. You can see like the team index is fairly heavily on enabling Colossal. So given like Colossal just wasn't able to get set up, it put my opponent into a really tough spot. Yeah, we can just Earthquake now. And I guess might as well Draco again. And they end up forfeiting. Cool. But yeah, I mean, Maushold was really critical to winning both the first game and in this one, right? In the first one, it was, like I mentioned, pure offense. And in this one, if I didn't have redirection support, they would have been able to enable the Colossal plus the weakness policy, not the weakness policy, the Absorb Bulb plus Steam Engine combination. And that's pretty annoying. So yeah, the theory behind Palafin and Colossal is pretty cool, right? Because you can essentially flip turn, get out, enable Colossal, and then bring in the Palafin later on in the game to be an incredibly potent late game sweeper. So it's a really unique combination, but Maushold having redirection here made it a lot tougher for my opponent. So yeah, I'm already happy to feature the kind of dual combo between offense and defense on this Pokemon. Alright, let's see if Maushold can put in some more work here. It is Amoonguss, Dragonite, Palafin, Kingambit, Arcanine, and Sableye. So we actually played against this team before Ranked went up, and this is a team created by Thomas, who is a player from France. He's one of the best players from Europe and was very dominant in the last season in Sword and Shield. And so, yeah, it's a really interesting team. It's got like Choice Band, normal Dragonite, Roselli Berry, Sableye, Goggles on the Arcanine, and it's Choice Scarf Palafin. So this is also actually one of the teams on the Victory Road rental list. Okay. Sableye is pretty annoying here, right? I can't really one-shot it very easily, can I? Yeah, honestly, Sableye is the Pokemon I'm most worried about here. Amoonguss is also fairly annoying, although actually we can just taunt it with Murkrow, so I think Murkrow is going to be really good. Kind of thinking Murkrow and Golden Go here, like use Specs Golden Go to take care of Sableye early, ideally. And then in the back. As much as I love Maushold, I don't think it's the best matchup for it here. Because first of all, they have Kingambit, so that resists normal. They also have Arcanine, which can intimidate us, so that's a problem. And they also have Amoonguss, and I'm not sure that 10 hits from us can KO the Amoonguss. And actually, the Amoonguss has a Recovery Berry here as well, so it's like 3 different things where Maushold just doesn't like provide too much value against. Sableye Dragonite. This is Banded Dragonite with Fire Punch. And I believe the Sableye on their end also has Helping Hand. So, like, they get Helping Hand, Fire Punch, Golden Goal turn 1. I'm not completely opposed to actually just going for Tailwind here. Actually, I don't really need a Tailwind, do I? I could, oh, they could go for Extreme Speed stuff, though. I went for Tailwind, Make It Rain, but I actually think Steel Beam's pretty interesting. Oh, that is interesting, though. They don't Terra. They just go for Extreme Speed. Okay, I'll gladly take that. Because Golden Go's looking mighty sweet right now. If we just knock out Sableye here... Oh, so close. But the cool thing is I can just haze away the special attack drop next turn. And they're just going for Foul Play. That's totally fine with me. Okay, yeah. I set up Tailwind, which is really good. I mean, we are so well positioned now. You could normal Terra, but would you really do it just to KO Murkrow? I don't think that's really worth it. So yeah, let's just Haze now and Make It Rain again. I guess the Haze honestly really isn't relevant this turn because it should theoretically knock out... The Make It Rain even at -1 should knock out both Pokemon anyway. But them not going for normal Terra and committing to Extreme Speed I feel like was the best possible answer for us. Now... Choice Band Dragonite was really common when Scarlet and Violet was first released before we knew the VGC rule set, because it's synergized super well with Shampao, one of the legendary Pokemon, which drops your defenses and your opponent's defenses. And so, okay, they just go for Extreme Speed again. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, so basically, like, without Shampao, you can see, like, without the combination of Terra plus Shampao, they're not doing that much damage to Murkrow anyway. They're going to go for Will-O-Wisp, but this is one of the nice things about Golden Goal's ability. It prevents those status conditions. That's just a double KO. Yeah, so I'm also glad to feature this combination now, because it's pretty crazy, right? It's like you essentially can keep resetting your drops. But I think King Gambit in the back here is a little bit scary. He can come in and obviously just threaten with Sucker Punch. I don't remember if it was Defiant or Supreme Overlord. Amoonguss comes out. Excellent. We can just taunt that. And it's going to be Palafin in the back. Oh, that's really surprising. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that really limits their options, to be honest. We still have 2 turns of Tailwind as well, which is excellent. I could go for the Haze play here, but it's not going to pick up a knockout anyway. Also, they're stuck with regular Palafin. We have Garchomp Hydreigon on the back, so I think we really should be good here. I'm just going to taunt into Amoonguss and make it rain. They actually just end up forfeiting. Yeah. I don't know. It was pretty tough for them to begin with. I think if they lead King Gambit, though, you at least pressure Life Orb Sucker Punch onto my Golden Goal. And so my response to that, if King Gambit is out as a lead, is probably actually going for Terra on the Golden Goal just to get rid of the darkness. Or I could consider just switching out into Garchomp immediately, for example. But King Gambit was probably the Pokemon that threatened me the most. But one other line of play that they could have taken is with Sableye and Dragonite. Just go for, because they do have Helping Hand on that Sableye. Go for Helping Hand and then the Choice Band Fire Punch onto Golden Gold on turn 1. But in my head, I was like, that trade isn't even that bad, because then I would get Tailwind up. I would get a ton of damage off with Make It Rain, and then you're committed to Fire Punch. So then I can just bring out the Hydreigon and be in a really good position against both of their Pokemon. So, yeah. Ultimately, though, this is why I think like Palafin can be a little bit tricky to use, because, yeah, when you have it in the back, it's really hard to get it into a position where it comes out and then back out again. So I think a Palafin lead also could have maybe been a little bit stronger for them. But Golden Goal in general, I think, was just fairly solid into their team, even though they had a fair amount of resistances to it. Like, Make It Rain still just does so much damage. And then, yeah, that's kind of the theory behind Murkrow on Golden Go. You can get rid of those special attack drops on Golden Go. Thanks to Murkrow's Haze. And so Haze functions in 2 different ways, right? One, to get rid of your opponent's stat boost, which is really valuable into things like Tatsugiri plus Dondozo, and then also getting rid of your own drops here. Alright, that one gets us to midway of Great Ball rank 8, so let's keep things going, and that's a Dash Bun? Is that what it's called? I had one in-game. I do want to quickly look it up, because I just actually know nothing about this Pokemon. But it's really cute, and it receives no damage when it's hit by a fire-type attack, but we don't have fire here. It's pure Fairy, which is so unintuitive to me because it feels like a fire-type Pokemon. This is a pretty big problem, though. They have... Oh, but it's indeed male, not female. Interesting. Because I was going to say, like, Trick Room is concerning here. No lie, like, I think Maushold can go really hard in this matchup. Like, Murkrow I have to be a little bit careful about, because if I want Tailwind, I actually think Hydreigon might just be the better Tailwind user, truthfully. Yeah, I'm thinking, like, Hydreigon Maushold, Garchomp Golden Go. Final Gambit from Annihilate's not bad, though. I feel like I should be bringing this Pokemon more. But everything else I feel like is pretty consistent. So, let's see. I just want to see Dash Bun come out. Like, I have no idea what this Pokemon does. Space, 95 speed, 115 defense. Actually, its defense, that being as high as it is, might be a problem for Maushold. Perhaps we finally found the Maushold counter, Dash Bun. But its ability is just super interesting, right? Because you can use it to wall fire type Pokemon. It's going to be Dash Bun and the Armor Rouge. Huh. Like, I can just Population Bomb here, Terra Steel, Flash Cannon. What's the reason to not go for this? Honestly, I just don't know Dash Bun's moves, so that's the main thing. A defensive Terra from either Pokemon here could be solid, but the thing is, if you see this, you're probably not expecting Hydreigon to just go Terra Steel, Life Orb, Flash Cannon. And basically, the theory in bringing Hydreigon here over Murkrow is that there's 2 Tailwind users on this team, right? Murkrow is almost a guaranteed Tailwind because of Prankster. Ooh, they're going to go for Terra. Armor Rouge going for Terra, okay. Terra Grass, that's fine. Does Terra Grass really help them here? Like, what's the theory in going for Terra this early on? Oh, getting rid of your Psychic typing. That makes sense. But they're also faster than Hydreigon. Okay. I guess I don't love that. I wanted to respect it, like, Trick Rooming, so I definitely didn't want to just click Tailwind on turn 1. But... oh, actually by turning into Steel now, I'm weak to Fire, which is kind of funny. Ah! Wait, so it's Choice Scarf, right? Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Population Bomb, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Lava Plume from Choice Scarf. Very interesting. 10 hits. You faint. Flash Cannon now, super effective in the Dash Bun. Life Orb, same type attack bonus. Okay, nice. Shoutouts to Maushold throughout this whole episode, though. Maushold just refuses to miss. I love this Pokemon. This is definitely my favorite new Pokemon. Oh my gosh. How do they create something that's so cute but so good? I just... Oh. Indeedee? Indeedee Azumarill, okay. That is fine. You can't even Aqua Jet now. I'm mainly worried about this thing, like, Trick Rooming on me. So, like, I'm down to... Population Bomb and Dark Pulse. Okay, they just Aqua Jet into Hydreigon, but we actually survive on 3. The reason you can Aqua Jet, by the way, there, despite Psychic Terrain being up, is because Hydreigon has Levitate, so it's not grounded, and as a result, it doesn't get affected by that Psychic Terrain immunity to priority attacks. But it's definitely a weird interaction to see, like, a priority attack go into Hydreigon in Psychic Terrain and not have it be super effective. Or, sorry, not very effective. But that's what Terra does, right? It creates all these weird interactions. Anyway, Hydreigon faints here, but you can see the advantage of Steel Terra here. So nice into Fairies. So now we can just bring out Golden Go. I love Maushold. You're so cool. But yeah, that was really cool to see. The Armor Rouge plus Dash Bomb combination was the first. Anyway, Population Bomb here. And I kind of want to see Steel Beam's animation. Okay, they end up forfeiting. I think, yeah, one of the interesting debates when you're using this team is when do I bring Murkrow and when do I bring Hydreigon? And my logic here in bringing the Hydreigon, which I didn't get to finish my explanation earlier, is that Murkrow's offense is really lackluster here. And I didn't think I could get too much value out of Haze or Taunt. Taunt especially because they had Psychic Terrain on Indeedee as well. So it's like if Indeedee comes out, then what can I really do with the Murkrow, right? And it's like I don't want to really Haze. There's not that much setup from their team. Once I get Tailwind up, sure, that's it. And then it'd be foul play. And with them having Dash Bun, like having a surprise Steel type attack the way we did was just super, super advantageous. Because that Pokemon could have been super annoying for us to deal with. But yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things about Armor Rouge. Like there's so many different ways that you can run it. And that was Choice Scarf plus Lava Plume. And Lava Plume can combo with a bunch of different Pokemon in the format, including something like Baxcalibur as well. So, yeah. Alright, I would love to bring Maushold out again. That is the Worm. I honestly do not know about Ortho Worm very much at all, so I'm excited to go up against it. They do have a potential lot of setup here, like Azumarill with Belly Jar, I was gonna say Belly Jar, Belly Drum, Garchomp with Swords Dance, Volcarona with Quiver Dance, and then they have the Indeedee plus Armor Rouge combination. I don't think they're going to be Trick Room here because their team is somewhat speedy, but Trick Room would be pretty bad for me here. Although, the solution against Indeedee and Armor Rouge is actually to just, like, Population Bomb, KO the Indeedee, Terra, and then, like, Life Orb Dark Pulse into Armor Rouge. But, like, I do want to bring Murkrow here. I am just a little bit worried about the Trick Room matchup. I suppose I could also go Annihilate plus Hydreigon. This one's hard. All of our Pokemon are pretty good, honestly. And it's like, the Orthworm is the big wild card here, because I just have no experience fighting against that, and I just don't really know what it does in doubles. Okay, I'm gonna try and Annihilate Hydreigon, Maushold, and I feel like I should be bringing Golden Go here. They have so many resistances, though. I'm gonna go with Garchomp. I don't know. I'm gonna try something new here. But basically, I really wanted to bring Murkrow because of its ability to haze in this matchup. But the theory is, I don't necessarily need to haze if I can just overwhelm my opponent with offense beforehand anyway. I also really haven't brought out the Scarf and Annihilate so far in using this team, so I want to just get some better experience with it. Okay, it's the Worm and Azumarill. Honestly, yeah, like, I just don't know anything about Orthworm here. So, should make things a little bit more interesting. You're just pure steel. I kind of lean towards just going for Final Gambit onto Azumarill. Do I really need to set up Tailwind here? I don't think so. Not on turn 1. I could help against the Garchomp in the back, though. Okay, I'll Final Gambit Tailwind here. That's nice. Okay. Oh, great Aqua Jet there. Yeah, that's an excellent play. So that does damage to me, so Final Gambit doesn't KO them. Really nicely done. Although, I don't think that's really that bad for me, right? It's a free switch into Garchomp now. Are they Citrus on Azumarill? I'd expect that. Yeah. Very cool. I could go into Garchomp, but maybe it's better to just go into... Oh, you know what we could do? We could go Maushold here, and then Encore the Orthworm. If I was confident on Earthquake KOing Azumarill, or if we were Ground Terror, I think it's always Garchomp. I was just nervous about Azumarill actually surviving. But like, what I want to go for now is Encore, Steel Terra, and then Flash Cannon into Azumarill. I don't know if this was the best, like, line to take. Because I guess I don't even know if the Flash Cannon's KOing here. Another thing we could have considered was Garchomp, Steel Flash Terra into Azumarill, and then just Swords Dance, but it's mainly us having Encore right now. Like, being able to completely shut down the Orthworm slot feels pretty strong to me at this moment. They actually switch Azumarill out, okay. Volk, maybe? That's Garchomp. That's fine by me. Although, actually, that was a really cool switch because... So, one of the things about Garchomp is that you can have Rough Skin as your ability, right? And with the Maushold, it actually eats up chip damage from every single hit. So the Maushold essentially will KO itself, which is nasty. You get Encore off. Use Life Orb Flash Cannon. I love the turn 1 Aqua Jet, by the way, though. That, like, ooh, that was a crit. That was so much damage. Okay, you're going to try to protect and fail it. I feel like I should, like, position Garchomp now to set up Swords Dance. I.e. switch Maushold out into Garchomp. And... Dark Pulse. I could also read into Orthworm switching out here, but maybe they actually just stay in, decide to protect. I think switching to Garchomp and Dark Pulsing here is always fairly safe, so I'm down for that. I want Garchomp out because I think it applies a little bit more offensive pressure with Earthquake into my opponent's team. That crit onto their Garchomp was fairly lucky, but I think the Garchomp from there and would have fainted to any one more move anyway. It just makes things a little bit easier for me. I'm glad to feature another one of Maushold's moves in its kit, though, here, right? Okay, Garchomp's actually switching out. Into Azumarill, sure. That's fine. Double switch. Makes sense. I'm mainly curious about a defensive Terra on there, and that's Volcarona coming out. So, yeah, Volcarona being able to defensive Terra here is fairly strong. I should have gone for Flash Cannon onto that slot specifically because it'd cover for an Azumarill switch in. Although I guess if they switched the other way around, Dark Pulse would have been better. Last turn of Tailwind now. The thing is, if I get a Swords Dance off, I feel like Garchomp should really be able to just sweep. But we are in a real... Like, do I really need it right now? Because something just like Earthquake into Draco Meteor is also really strong right now. It's just Swords Dance would capitalize off them playing passively, but they actually don't play passively and don't protect either Pokemon, which is what I want to see. So there's Draco. You're not Citrus Berry, so unless you're like Figi, Aguav, one of those... Nice, double KO. Excellent. Okay. They still haven't gone for Terra, though, so I'm a little bit worried about Garchomp's Terra. Honestly, I am still worried about Orthworm as well. It's just kind of a wild card still. But I think I could probably just protect Garchomp. Because, like, Orthworm, I assume, is Iron Defense Body Press. Oh, but if you are that, and you KO Hydreigon, Maushold just Encores you infinitely, right? You can't do anything about that. Let's see. Let us see. With Garchomp here, I mean, yeah, they've taken so much damage. Just don't know the item on that. They're one Earthquake away from fainting. I mean, the reality is, like, with us being Steel here, you completely wall Hydreigon, or sorry, Garchomp, right? So, like, why not just protect here into Tailwind just to play it safe? I generally like that, and then the next turn I can just switch Hydreigon out. It's just Orthworm. I still don't really know what it does, so I want to look up its page after this and, like, get some more information about it, because I'm kind of in the dark here. I'm also just curious what Terra they're going to commit to at this point. It feels a little bit too late for them. But yeah, like, I should have thought a little bit more about my Annihilape usage in this one, because their Aqua Jet turn 1 was very smart and made Annihilape look a lot weaker. Cool, they just Dragon Claw into us. Perfect. Nice, nice. Now we ensure we're faster. And they're going to Body Press. Yeah, this game is definitely not over by any means. Like, Orthworm here could put in immense work in this endgame, right? I don't want to Earthquake myself here. Like, I think what I want to do is just Swords Dance. And then Population Bomb into Garchomp. I just need one hit. It's 99% chance. The alternative would have been just Earthquake, but the thing is, I could see Garchomp protecting and then Orthworm body pressing, which would not be great for me, and I just don't really love the idea of hitting myself, so I'll take the 1% chance of missing Population Bomb here. And we don't miss. Thank you, Maushold. And so there's Rough Skin, right? You can see, yeah, like, if, when they switched in Garchomp earlier, if I had gone for Population Bomb onto that time, I would just literally KO myself, potentially. There's Swords Dance. Good. And they go for Body Press, yeah. And we even survive, which is awesome. I think we just Encore here. Yeah, I'll just Swords Dance again. Do I really need, like, why not just Encore into Earthquake? That seems okay, right? I don't think I need another Swords Dance. Okay, now you're stuck Body Pressing. Body Press definitely isn't going to KO Garchomp even with the crit. I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot about this thing's ability. Oh boy. Well, we have Rock Slide. Oh my gosh, how was I actually supposed to beat Ortho Worm then? I needed to conserve Hydreigon, huh? Or Golden Go. Oh man, I really had to learn that the hard way, didn't I? Oh boy. What do I even do? You'll take... I guess I just get to +6 with Swords Dance. They'll take a fair amount of recoil from body presses as well. It's games like this though, right? Where it's like, now I will never forget about Ortho Worm's ability ever again, but I have to learn the hard way. The better play, by the way, then would have been earlier in the match when I went for Tailwind, since like I'm pretty sure I could survive a Dragon Claw anyway, was withdraw Hydreigon into Maushold, Earthquake, and then have just a Life Orb Dark Pulse in this end game. But actually, like, I needed to play this game just kind of covering for this. I go for another Swords Dance. I mean, it's still winnable, all things considered. It's just that I actually wasted one attack, which could have been a big deal here. I'll take another Body Press, which is big, but if they are just Iron Defense here, they can obviously just go for that. So let's see how much +6 single target Rock Slide does. I'm honestly still not expecting much, like 25, 30. A Flinch could win us the game here as well. Okay, they just Protect. Makes sense. Scout off for what attack I have. Protect, Body Press, I assume Iron Defense. I don't know what the fourth one is. I don't know if it gets Recovery. Win streak ended by a worm. But that's why the early meta is so fun, right? Like, you make these mistakes to learn about these new Pokemon. That actually does a lot. Oh, they have a berry, though. Oh. I need 2 more Rock Slides, then. Is it Iron Defense or Body Press? Oh, they just Body Press, though. Okay, well, we need a Rock Slide Flinch, I think, or a crit. It was them also having Ogwav Berry, like they were just in range of it. Oh, okay. So yeah, I would have won this game if I just remembered its ability, because I would have had an extra attack here. That little bit of damage was all I needed. And they're going to faint here, I think, from Rough Skin, but they'll win the game with the way tiebreakers work, because Garchomp faints first. Oh, actually, does the... Yeah, okay, you do end up fainting. Well, that's a game I don't mind losing, because, yeah, it's just, sometimes you gotta make these mistakes against brand new Pokemon to learn. And this is not a Pokemon I have fought against at all while playing in VGC, so that's why I knew nothing about it, because I just haven't really looked into it. So, yeah, you know, games like that feel funny, because it's like, oh, if I just literally did not make, like, if I literally knew about its ability, we would have been able to win. Because, yeah, essentially I wasted an extra attack going for Earthquake there, right? If I actually just clicked Swords Dance there, I would have had one extra turn. I would have been able to start Rock Sliding one turn earlier, and we likely would have won that end game. So, yeah, we actually had, not a guaranteed win, because you can still miss with Rock Slide, but that one critical mistake just costs me the game, essentially. But I could have played the game a lot better, I think. Yeah, like, I couldn't consider switching Hydreigon out. I'm sure you all were watching though, and you're like, no, don't do it. It's got the ability. So yeah, but hopefully through my mistake now, if you guys go up against Ortho Worm in the future, you'll know about its ability. And I also think, yeah, Nihilip wasn't amazing. Golden Go would have been really solid, I think, in the late game, especially because it doesn't get hit by the Body Press because of Ghost typing. So if I were playing a best of 3, I'd consider bringing Golden Go instead, because I don't love that my answer in beating the Worm was to Swords Dance and Rock Slide in the end game, right? That doesn't feel super reliable. So conserving Hydreigon would have been good. Using late game Annihilate instead of early game would have been good. Having Golden Go as well would have been good. But yeah. You know, games like this are always funny because it is just, you know, making a critical mistake, but it's good to learn from the mistakes, obviously. And now we know about this Pokemon. So I do want to briefly pull up its Cerebi page and learn a little bit more about it, because, yeah, this is still a Pokemon I'm unfamiliar with. So first of all, looking at Orthworm here, I'm laughing because you actually literally fight against this Pokemon in the in-game in Scarlet and Violet, but I still had really just forgotten about its ability. So it actually gets to recover 25% of its maximum HP when a ground-type move is used against it, which is awesome. Sandveil is its hidden ability, but I think Earth Eater is the main reason you'd want to use this Pokemon. Having that immunity is super sweet, and you're mainly going to want to use it, I think, for Iron Defense and Body Press, but it also gets access to Shed Tail, which is really nice, allowing it to switch itself out and set up a substitute for whatever is coming in. And you get some access to some decent utility, Rock Tomb, for example. Bulldoze. You can use like offensive attacks like Iron Hand and Stomping Tantrum, but I think, yeah, the Iron Defense Body Press combination is just really good. It also gets access to Helping Hand, which is pretty sweet here. And so if you look at its base stats, incredible base defense, one of the best in the game at 145, 70 HP, 85 attack, 60 special attack, 55 special defense, and 65 speed. So, you know, that's one of the interesting things in VGC. Like, you're not always going to know what every single Pokemon does, and that's why I really value, like, losing like this, because, yeah, I made a silly mistake, but now, am I going to make that mistake again in the future? Hopefully not, and at least I've, like, had this really memorable loss where I'm like, okay, now I know exactly what you're going to try to do in the future. And so, if you look at Orthworm's Picolytics page, by the way, yeah, like Body Press, Shed Tail, Iron Defense, Helping Hand, Iron Head, and Protect are the most common moves, and then you see some other options down here as well. Common partners include like Garchomp, Tyranitar, Murkrow, Glamora, Kilowattrel, and Talonflame as of right now, and Electric is actually a Terra that some people are using on it. So, yeah. I think in that endgame, by the way, if I had known about this ability, there's so many different ways I could have approached it. The first is, I don't think I really needed to play as safely as I did against their Garchomp, because in the end, the Garchomp that we're using here actually has max HP. So I played super conservatively, but one route I could have taken was actually just switch Hydreigon out into the Maushold, Earthquake, KO the Garchomp, and that would also have allowed me to see the ability immediately, right, on their end. And then it's Maushold, Garchomp, and a Life Orb Hydreigon just waiting to get one last Dark Pulse off in that battle. So that's one different route that I could have taken. I just played conservatively because in my head I was like, oh, Swords Dance Garchomp's always going to win against Orthworm because I didn't know about the ability. Yeah, hence the logic there. I also think this is a game in which I could have done better in team preview, mainly because, once again, like, I didn't really know about this. And now knowing about this, I would consider, okay, well, you have a really good base defense. I need more special attackers in the battle. So naturally, I would gravitate towards bringing the Golden Go, especially because Golden Go is also ghost typing, making it immune to the Body Press. And so Golden Go, I think, could be a really strong option instead, where it would be pretty nice in using it to clean up the end game. But really nicely done for my opponent there. It felt like they were obviously playing from behind. And then, yeah, the bulky berry on Orthworm was the last thing that really hurt me there. Like, if we had actually, like, not put it in range of the berry, then KO'd it, that would have been better. So one thing I could have done was maybe not getting a +6 attack, like +4, deny the berry range, then get the boost, and then KO it from there afterwards. But yeah, I mean, in the end, we still could have had a decent chance to win. If we get a flinch or a crit on either of those rock slides, we're good. And obviously, I made a pretty bad mistake not knowing about its ability. But like I said, you got to sometimes have losses like this to really give you, you know, good learning lessons. And so, yeah, hopefully we won't make that mistake again. But it was a fun battle nonetheless, and a really cool team for my opponent. And I certainly now know what Orthworm does. So that's going to be it for this one. My name is Aaron CybertronVGC. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much as always for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Shoutouts to Maushold. Peace.